ESC picking Nuke again, and this is the one where Moonwalk had an absolute blinder of a game. 2.3 rating, plus 14 round swing. 105 edit, mental performance from him. Ancient ban, and then this is where the change-up comes in. ESC, rather than removing Mirage like they did last time and leaving Inferno, which ended up going overtime and they ended up losing it to Sangal, they decided, no, we're taking Inferno out, we're throwing a bit of a curveball in, and we're going with Mirage as the decider instead.
Yeah, so it's a really strange veto because ESC, they've got a massive win streak on Ancient, so Sangal having to choose to avoid that one. Previously went towards Inferno, this time going towards Mirage, but that's a decider. That's even if it gets there, we've still got 2 maps of Counter-Strike to go through first, starting off with Sangal's map pick of Overpass, and it looks like an explosive start for Sangal here on the B bomb site as they rush straight out on Monster with all the flashes. Patsy taking point, clax joining in with another.
Absolute classic B-rush strat, and it works a treat. ESC have been annihilated. It's only Samey left. He manages a nice little headshot on the way out, but it's meaningless because he's been gunned down by Patsy. Sangal have stormed onto that B-bomb site. Couple of flashes. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, I mean, the utility was really well utilised as well there. The smoking towards Heaven, smoking towards CT, especially with the CS2 smokes, the much wider that CT smoke is a bit more effective. Cutting off those long-range sight lines for the USPs, then using the flashes to make sure that no crossfires can be broken up so that the Ts, the Glocks can actually make it out of the choke point. And from that point, you've got the numbers, you can swarm, you can break apart any crossfires or any setups. They won't be close due to the flashes, they can't be far, therefore you've got them exactly where you want them with those Glocks. And now they've got them exactly where they want them with the USPs. A full eco coming in from ESC. Just a P250 brought up on Ryko. It's going to be going very aggressive here in towards Fountain, shifting quietly though. But in the meantime, Sangal, again, they've taken the B-bomb side.
Yeah, and Dynast's in a perfect position to farm a few eco frags here with this MP7. That's the first 2. Nice little dink on the USP, but he's still good for a third. He's emptied that MP7 out, so even if it gets picked up, these SMGs, there's a full smorgasbord going on. We've got a UMP, we've got a MAC-10, we've got an MP7 being brought up, a nice bit of variety.
Yeah, I was about to comment on that. Since the MP9 nerf, we're seeing a lot more players experiment with what SMGs are more viable or what they prefer. But you expect to see that on the CT side, not on the T side, when the MAC-10 is still an option where it's by far the cheapest SMG. And I would argue the MAC-10 on the T side is going to be the go-to choice no matter what kind of round you're on, due to just having that movement speed, that running accuracy as well on the MAC-10. It just gives you such an advantage in fights that you're likely to take as the T side. But yeah, interesting to see the MP9 and MP7. But after 2 very fast B rounds, it looks like ESC seem to be ready, anticipating a second fast attempt from Sangal. It's a 1-for-1 trade there in towards short, but it's a slightly delayed pop on towards this B-bomb site. Resol taking point with this glove, clears out water, but Olymp having short control. In fact, Olymp is the one in CT. Plenty of cover, these M4s find a successful B-site hold.
Dynasts. See what he can do here in the 1v4. First kill found. Triggers an immediate rotation and a smoke block. So any hope of finding a couple of kills off the back of the momentum of that first one completely thwarted. Forced to now reposition. As ESC surround the bomb on this B bomb site. Go for a double swing on Monster. Desperately trying to search out a 1v1 here as Dynasts. ESC doing a great job of not giving it to him. Ryko will swing in. ESC will get the first on the board. Nice and early on as well. Not going to deal with that CT dreaded money pit of losing the first gun.
Yeah, Sangal going for the momentum-based calls there. You got 2 B rushes in a row, followed by what is essentially faking the B rush into a B pop. So you're trying to dodge the initial counter onslaught of utility that the CTs would throw to stop a rush. You dodge that by not going straight away. And then once the dust settles, then you pop, then you burst, and your utility goes down. And that added sort of fight of having 1 extra player in short, but because they lose that initial short fight, it means that ESC have a very safe ground to defend the B-bomb site from, rather than being stuck on the site itself. Oh, Ryko, beautiful headshot. Sangal mixed things up, going for a bit of a default, but Ryko, clean shooting with the AK.
Very clean indeed. 2-man advantage now for the CT side make that 3 as Raiko's dropped another body. 10 HP nonetheless. He's still fighting. Norway will get a kill on the board, taking out Moonwalk, and he's unlocked the B bomb site, but he's got no bomb. That's down with the rest of his teammates. On the A side of things, clax will take down Olymp. Need to be careful here. Raiko's still going for it. That's 4. Looking for the ace. Denied by Norway, who's going to find a double. Brings it into a 1v1. A little careless from ESC here, and Norway has the chance to punish him for it, but no. Sammy will recover the round. But blimey, that bit more damage than I think you'd have hoped to have taken if you were ESC, given the massive opening that you got.
Definitely. I mean, it's not reflected in their economy just yet, with the exception of maybe the odd missing grenade. But you're spot on, the high risk there of just hunting. You can understand Raiko going for the hunt, looking for that ace, and then the second player on that follow-up looking for it, going, okay, if Raiko's going for the hunt, I'm going to make sure he's traded. But in doing so, they both give up fights, which are completely unnecessary. They could just play for the round, and for all you know, Raiko could be gifted that ace if he was just a bit more patient. Fortunately, the round is still won, and therefore Sangal's cash now in the proverbial dirt. At least in this round, it's in the sewers.
I love these eco strats so much. Just stacking in a tower. They get 2 kills out of it. Yeah.
Considering what you invest, that's not bad. I mean, the CTs, their bottom line is always going to be 3 players surviving so that they can at least profit. They can build on their economy if they have 3 players surviving. If you only have 2, then you have to make more reinvestments than saves, which then therefore comes at a cost. But if you're only coming into the round as T's with Glocks and you get 2 kills, you're going to be like, yeah, it's all right. A little bit of damage. We stopped them having massive profits, considering we've not really invested a dollar. But round number 6, we'll see the investment come back through for Sangal. We'll even have the AWP up for Danists. Will be a slow 3-1-1 on the T side. clax just left to lurk outside of B here, and oh, that HE. That is cheeky, blowing open the monster smoke, but clax aware of it. Good for 1, but there's the trade. The team play coming to effect for ESC, and that's a huge portion of the map opened up for the CTs. Lots of information to be gained off of that trade. Therefore, they can make a much more informed decision as to how they approach this A bomb site, stacking it with 3 players, 2 of which are heavy towards long. Raiko finds the timing to swing, catches the head of Norway, looking for a little bit more. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome, maintain that advantage, especially with a minute still on the clock and very little ground in the hands of Sangal. That's a lot of time that can be burnt off that clock should ESC just fall back, force Sangal to have to retake lots of map control and be loud about it.
Samey lying in wait in the long toilet, manages 1, and there's the double as well. Sangal had spotted Raiko falling back deep on long, so we're a little careless in clearing out long toilets there, and that allows Samey to get the double, and now Denists is just resigned to this save.
It's the difficulty of that slow start to the default from Sangal, right? Is that those 3 players who are supposed to be working towards mid, they're just waiting out the CT utility. They're trying to make it look like, hey, we're not being aggressive towards A, because what tends to happen if you do that is the CTs might be a little bit more tempted to fall back on that A site. But what ended up happening, because ESC went for that aggressive monster play, they cleared out all of the B bomb site. It meant that as soon as that kill came through, Sangal had 0 map control. And as they're retaking it, they're losing players. They get themselves into a disadvantage, and they still have a minute to go. Still have a minute to work through all of that map control on that A site, which, as I mentioned, you've either got to burn through that time if you want to take it silently, or you have to be loud about it. And if you're loud about it, it's still going to take time. The CTs have that advantage. They have that information, and they can rotate much quicker if you're being loud.
Denists went down after time.
Ooh, that is...
He had $200 in his bank account at the start of this round. He's decided to empty it by himself a flash. The rest of his team are on a half buy, but that's really going to affect them in the coming rounds unless somebody makes a Well, even if somebody makes a sacrifice to drop him an AWP a few rounds time, that person's then not going to have a gun.
The only argument against it is that if or not argument against it, the only caveat is that if they're able to win this round, it won't be such bad of a problem. But I mean, steep hill. Working with 3 Tech 9s and a Deagle. Limited Kevlar. Even more limited utility. And you can see this information that ESC are working with. They've heard all these steps towards B short. They're spotting, jump spotting. On A, there's been no presence, so they have to fall back and stack 4 players on towards this B bomb site. Even then, these pistols are still finding their mark. They've found 2 kills already, put it into a 3-on-3. They now have control of the site itself, but not water. And these pistols still taking names, landing headshots, leaving it all on Olymp, who's just been tapped out. ESC had all the information. You had a 4-man stack on towards that A site. Your 5th player was playing retake towards A, just jump spotting, and therefore had a very quick rotate, yet you still lose the site. Where is the setups? Where are the crossfires? How is Sangal allowed to just walk out of short and monster simultaneously and just pick you off without being traded?
That was such a mess for ESC, and what a massive fumble. All of the work they'd done to take that AWP away and kill Denist after time completely negated now. They've got a full purchase here. No AWP, sure, but 2 saved rifles to just bolster those bank accounts even more. This is a disaster for ESC. You've got Barmy now down on an MP9, a FAMAS on Moonwalk. This would be the last buy that ESC could pull out if they lose this round as well. Not a good start.
It's going to spur on Sangal with a little bit more momentum here on this A default as they work through connector to take middle. Also having B short control from clax. Very useful. They now have the ability to pivot through connector, control the rotations. Or rather, to put it more simply, they have a quicker rotation than if they were having to go through spawn. A lot of damage exchanged.
Down to 2 HP. Got to be careful sneezing around this guy now. Result is going to take down Raiko as well, so not a good start for round 8 for ESC here. You got a player on 1 HP. You're already a player down, and yeah, just gamble stack B, and they've chosen the correct site here. Moonwalk going to get 1, but the trade's advantageous for Sangal, and now they know where Sammy is. A 2 versus 1 situation.
Time though, it's of the essence.
It is.
I'll make it up to the A site.
Group up here. First player gone. Patsy eliminated. Sammy could save the day, and he will. A double kill on the AWP. ESC just about yet again scrape around.
This game already so far is a great example of the use of information for the CTs, and both the Ts for that matter, and what information the CTs have. In that round, yes, they lost the man advantage, they lost the opening kill, but there was 30 seconds left on the clock. That kill came in towards middle. Result was towards balloons, towards the fountain when he got that kill. That's 30 seconds left. And the player who fell didn't see anything else behind Result. He just saw 1 player. Already, that's enough information to say, well, they're very unlikely going to be going towards A. We've got a man disadvantage, 30 seconds left. Gamble stack towards B, very likely to be B, and they called it correctly. And set up Sammy for that 1v2 clutch. But on this one, picking up the pace once more. Initial fights.
No.
Won by Sangal across the board, both in middle and towards connector, as ESC feed the beast.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like they walked into some crosshairs there. That was blink and you miss it. 4 kills in the space of, what, 5 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, they upped the ante, right? Sangal, they turned up the pace just a little bit. I mean, so did ESC. They were happy to take some fights in towards middle, but also a quick reaction from them having short control to try and go up in towards connector. But yeah, just kind of fell into the waiting arms of Sangal, who they themselves were eager to play forward positions, forward angles.
And now it's time
clax.
for Rico.
Yeah, not going to get caught off guard. Deeper in towards Monster, playing a little bit more safely. And will be rewarded for his diligence with a 4K.
Yeah, I don't think Samey's got much to say here.
Question is, does Samey want to give clax the ace? It's one of those things where it's like, do you deny the ace? Or do you try and exploit the fact that clax will be searching for the ace and try and isolate him in a fight, punish his lack of discipline? But clax was very patient there, just sat outside Monster. A lot of players there would have searched, hunted for that 5th player just so they can get an ace to add to their stats. But no, clax rewarded for his patience. As opposed to when Ryko got a quad kill a few rounds ago. He was sprinting for that 5th.
The thing that worries me here is 5 rounds on the T side already, shaping up to be a very good overpass for Sangal. And this buy is far from perfect for ESC as well. Going to pressure mid quite heavily here with Barmy coming in through long. Samey's going to be the one to find the first kill, but Patsy with a response onto Olim in the connector. Result not expecting so many players out on long, and Norway getting his toes tickled as well. The full court press from ESC has found a bit of success here. So Sangal look like they may be limited to 5, at least for now. Norway and Patsy, and now just Norway, both very low on HP. 1v2, 1v4 rather. You'd be wishing it was a 1v2. See, already he's just chilling in spawn, pushed so far back on the A site. Every angle is hostile. Every corner could have somebody jumping out at him. And there's Samey to confirm the position. Now the flank can come in. Shadow gives him away, and Ryko will seal the deal. It guarantees at least a tie at the half for ESC. I'd really like to see them get a 7th.
I mean, as much as you mentioned that 5 rounds is a sweet enough deal for the T side of Overpass, that's exactly how many rounds Sangal got on their T side last time they faced 2 days ago. That was a 7-5 half in favour of ESC, and yet Sangal still won it 13-11. So, regardless of this half scoreline, Sangal have already met par, as it were. Samey looking to try and get aggressive again. ESC holding no bars. They get themselves into a 4-on-2 with a very proactive and disruptive mid-push. Which leaves Danis, who was holding the rotations in connector with the AWP, and the B-lurk of clax.
Yeah, I mean, intentions-wise, it was basically a rinse repeat of the last round. Some of the details were slightly different. Either way, tricky situation for Sangal. That'll help. Barmy caught out in the open, 4 and 10, not having a great game. And I don't think he did last time, if I recall.
Yeah, he was not having a good game in that last overpass 2 days ago.
So there we go, 7-5 half. A rematch and a repeat of the scoreline from last time. Is the outcome going to be any different? We'll see after a break.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown.
A 7-5 half in favour of ESC, but they now swap onto the T side. We'll see if this will be a repeat of last time, and we end up with Sangal taking their own map pick regardless, or whether ESC can fight through and have a bit of a monster T side here.
Once the ESC were able to get themselves established in that first half, they looked like they were able to disrupt Sangal, but Sangal came out the gate swinging with a lot of momentum-based calls following the pistol round. Let's see if ESC can be the ones to dictate the momentum here as they sprint quite aggressively through middle, now taking toilet. Stanist, the lone defender of this A site, is the rotation a little bit far away. He'll get absolutely domed by Moonwalk, our player to watch. Commit to that bomb plant. Oh, Norway, he had the utility. Smoke and a flash dropped on the stairs. The retake now made near impossible, unless they can find an opening, a thread to pull, to unravel.
There's a dink onto clax. It's not getting any easier for the CT side here, as it's just clax, that 1 HP player.
I mean, you only
he's just going for exit damage, yeah. And he doesn't even get that. So a miserable start to the second half for Sangal. These T pistols, man, they've been absolutely lethal. Both sides have been incredibly one-sided.
Wow. The question is, can ESC continue that momentum? By the looks of things, Sangal may be going for an eco in the second, not attempting that second round break. ESC can establish themselves a good economy and vice versa if they can keep Sangal from being able to build a good reserve. Then ESC may be able to walk away and steal Overpass, get revenge on Sangal for that upper final. And you know what's waiting in the wings, Harry? It's Nuke. Map which ESC dominated Sangal on.
Yeah, that they did. Certainly thanks to a big Moonwalk performance. So we'll see if he'll be able to pull off the same thing here as ESC nicely deal with the little USP stack that Sangal had set up on the A site, only losing a single player. So up towards 9 now. Creeping closer and closer, but this is where the guns come out. MP9 on result. M4s across the board for the rest of the team. A single defuse kit in play. A couple of pieces of head armor missing. And that could come into effect as we see there's still a Galil and a MAC-10 in play on the T side.
Already mentioned how dangerous the MAC-10 can be on that T side with that fast movement speed. You don't need to add a one-shot, a headshot to the mix as well.
Clax being
very
pressured.
fast from ESC coming up connector, taking short control as well. And Sangal are actually quite blinded as well from it. They've been pushed all the way back up short. They don't have deep info on Monster. The only info they have is Patsy here towards the A site, who's found two, pushing through the smoke. Danist tries to hold for the shadow angle, but Sammy just a little bit too quick. Patsy repositions, finds the next off angle. Just needs to guarantee a one and done. Worst case scenario.
It's a lovely 2K from Patsy, don't get me wrong. Nice bit of spray control, but not question the decision of just, yeah, let's walk through the smoke at odd timings as well. Not even like they went through at the same time. So Patsy had plenty of time to adjust. Result has now been taken down on the B site, though. Clax. Nice headshot from above. Norway coming in the trades.
Ooh.
Pretty excellent from ESC. Barmy's hit a lovely shot. And now Patsy finds himself in a 1 versus 2. Flash down. No peek coming out. No freebie for Patsy here in heaven. And that's allowed Sammy to adjust and get deeper in towards CT. Dropping down. Sammy swings. And double digits for ESC follows.
What a weird round. You, as you quite rightly mentioned, a really weird walk through the smoke. Perhaps thinking that they may have had a timing or some sort of read on the positioning that Sangal were working with. But that B defense was non-existent from Sangal. Why is Result solo on the site with an MP9 and his nearest teammate, I can't remember who exactly it was in CT with an M4? How are they supposed to play off one another? There is no world in which Result can take a fight and his teammate cover another angle for him, or his teammate find the trade. Play bait and switch. They were just two separate fights, which Sangal or ESC will just walk out and take. Now they're going to be walking out onto Monster doing the exact same thing. No setups, no crossfires for Sangal. Just death. That's all that Sangal really have right now.
Big positive for ESC at the moment is that Barmy is having a better game than last time on Overpass. He was 6 and 16 at the end of that, and that was a map that went all the rounds.
Yeah, 0.48 rating, -6 round swing, which is very poor in that one. But yeah, I want to say he's finding more impact, but I think it's more a case of he's not losing impact, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and the problem is that Olymp, who was the best rated player last time on Overpass, is now the worst. It's Raiko who's stepped in to pick up some of the slack, along with Sammy as well.
I think that goes to show sort of the firepower capabilities on ESC is a little bit more evenly balanced.
For sure.
Right, they have players who can step up when the moment is needed. It's not always going to be the same players at the top of the scoreboard.
Right, this is a really important round for Sangal coming up. 2 rounds away from losing this map in a way more decisive fashion than they beat ESC on. It was right down to the wire all the rounds. Here, it's looking like a bit of a stomping. This is where they need to put their foot down and try and slow ESC down and, well, preferably stop them. Otherwise, you lose one more round and overtime's on the cards. An AUG on Norway, an AWP on Danists, M4s on the rest. Full-ish, couple of pieces missing. A little bit of an asterisk there, but full-ish utility. Only 1 diffuse kit. And ESC, the full buy across the board. Just a MAC-10 on Moonwalk, though. Set the table. See who's going to eat.
Proactive play in towards middle from Sangal. They should get the information that there's nothing towards Fountain. They need to rotate another player back towards B. They'll start shuffling about now, and I think they'll be able to make it towards that B-bomb site before this setup gets activated. Door wide open. Patsy's actually going to mow down two with their backs turned. The question is, can this B site hold? Trades still coming through. So one-man advantage for Sangal. So they've at least maintained the impact that Patsy had found. But plenty of time on the clock for ESC to reset this engagement. Divert all the way back towards the A-bomb site, which right now there's no CTs defending. There was, but they've been smoked out. Danis with the AWP, locked in towards bank, an open bomb plant as well. So ESC have an opportunity to turn this round completely on its head.
Kit is still in play. That's on Result, making its way up slowly to the top site. But doing so, it's burning so much time. And Olim going to accelerate, take some bank space, eliminates Norway. Sammy going to spot the AWP of Danis, but not able to capitalise. And was Result taking down Olim. Sammy just has to buy time here. Time's already so incredibly low. In bank, there's a first headshot. Needs to connect on the second as Result tries to gun him down. And he will finally eliminate him, giving map point to ESC.
Bit of a fumble there from Sangal. I mean, you've got not only do you have that man advantage, but you give up the bomb site. Sure, that's fine. You can play retake, play the 3-on-2. But then they don't play the 3-on-2. They give up solo fights. I mean, yes, ESC worked actually really well in that scenario. They decided to both play around those smokes, play to take those fights, isolate and disrupt Sangal, who were trying to play a more methodical retake. But the fact that ESC were able to isolate the fight, put it down to 1v2 to begin with, a bit damning for Sangal. Ooh, missed molly, might be damning for ESC. Norway over the top of default. Again, there's no crossfire, there's no bait and switch on this B-bomb site. It's just a solo fight, a solo angle, giving ESC the man advantage. This boost coming in, what a trade from Moonwalk. But the health low on these two T players. Same can be said for Sangal.
Health doesn't matter when you got headshots though. Barmy playing on the headshot angle. Does a lot of damage. Moonwalk now going to accelerate to the top site. So it's just a delay game for Barmy here. Maybe see if he can pick up an extra frag to make life easy for his teammate. And there we go. Yeah, 1-for-1. Bomb planted. Clax gets the signal. He can start rotating in. Moonwalk going to be listening and hearing. Clax is not being quiet about this. Moonwalk can anticipate, but no, he misses. Oh, how have you done that? How's Clax done that? That shouldn't be allowed.
Oh, that was so well played from ESC in the 4v4 in general. Poorly played from Sangal to get to that scenario, to get to that position, but Moonwalk in that 1v1, you could see the cogs turning as he's looking towards short. He's trying to hear the steps of Clax to confirm, yes, he's rotating through connector. I can hear him, but I don't know why he's decided to try and go into that position on the far left in a fight which, while yes, he has the knowledge advantage, he's not far enough left into that corner to be able to catch Clax off guard. As Clax is swinging, his crosshair is going to be up towards that A site, which was only a couple of degrees away from where Moonwalk was actually holding. If Moonwalk had either been a little bit quicker and gotten to that left corner, which I don't think he would have been able to do, the other option is hide somewhere in toilets. There's so many more off angles he could have used, which would have been much greater.
And now Sangal imbued with confidence. A double push down into connector. Patsy, he's on a tear right now. Double kill. Denist helping him out. Olymp and Sammy. 2v4.
Patsy does not want to lose this map. Since we've got onto the CT side, Patsy seems to have been able to find a plethora of multi-kills. Seems like a double or a triple each and every round. Yet Sangal are still 6 rounds behind ESC.
Mad. It's mad, isn't it? Like, some of the rounds that Sangal are cooking on look so... I mean, the same could be said for ESC, right? It feels like the peaks and the troughs of performance. So incredibly separate. Myst's going to hear that. Samey. Knife out as he walks in. Now Olin. Impossible task on his shoulders. Norway eliminates. So a 7th. Climbing the ladder. Are Sangal going to be able to summit? Or ESC going to cut the ropes out?
I was about to say, if just one rung off that ladder falls beneath their feet, that's it. Map done. And dare I say, series with Nuke being up next?
Quite possibly. But on the flip side, with how close this was before, ESC have made it look not particularly close.
Yeah, you could definitely make the argument that Sangal could do the very same on Nuke, but... And again, that Nuke victory, you could also make the argument that that came off the back of a massive performance from Moonwalk, who, while he's not missing, he's not quite being as voluminous as he was 2 days ago.
Yeah, he's looking a bit pedestrian.
Oh.
And that hero AK has done absolutely nothing for ESC.
Fortunately, it won't cost them any investment on this round. We do have a tactical timeout from ESC. They need to find the key to winning just one round, as while a couple of rounds ago we were saying, oh yeah, Sangal's still 6 rounds behind ESC. That's an enormous gap. And just 2 rounds in, now suddenly this is a close game. This is 12-8. 1 round for Sangal would be money broke for ESC. And we'll be looking at Sangal in double digits. A repeat of that, we would then be looking at overtime. So there's only really 2 gun rounds in this for Sangal. In other words, for Sangal to close the distance. Unless, of course, ESC, with that cash built up, get a bomb plant, they can afford another gun round. We could sprinkle a couple more rifles in. Some higher investments here or there.
Olymp getting aggro towards long very early and peeks it dry straight into Patsy.
Main angle.
He's now been able to just block that off completely. I mean, what's that flash for, Samey? Where was that when Olymp was trying to peek?
Yeah, it's a big waste of utility, right? On a map like Overpass, you have to be so efficient with your util usage.
Okay.
That's a little bit more effective. Danis, though, still a threat here in towards the long toilets. No trade comes through. And now with those 2 kills, it means that he's got a clean exit. Leaves the long toilets. Isn't trapped inside.
Barmy and Samey. At least they're together here, and at least they've got the bomb. There's a single smoke grenade. What a disgusting angle to try and clear through. Denist takes down the first. And Samey isn't able to adjust onto Norway on short. So now 9 for Sangal. And again, the money in trouble for ESC. This will be an eco, which should leave us with 1 more gun round.
I want to bring it back to that flash from, was it Samey or Olymp up towards long? That, right, Overpass is such a huge map. You physically can't use your utility to clear every single possible angle, especially towards A. Therefore, you have to be very precise, very sort of frugal with how you use your grenades. Because if you waste a grenade, throw it for no reason, you then do not have an extra flashbang to clear long toilets, for example. Which, I mean, they could have done with. Let's be real.
Half by here. Incendiary ineffective. Moonwalk manages to get ahead of it, but can't find anyone to shoot at. The CT's doing a good job of defending the bomb site here. Samey gonna try and crack it open, but he is the last one left now, and he's got so many targets on his screen. Sangal will join their opponents on double digits as they claim a 10th.
finally, it feels like that was the first round in 23 rounds, well, 22, where we saw an actual setup on the B-bomb site. Rather than just individuals playing on their lonesome, they actually had a crossfire, a bait and switch established between water and barrels, adding into it that little smoke that lands just in front of the barrels, gives them a little bit of cover so that crossfire can truly be established. Just meant that the pistols, the Tech 9s, couldn't overwhelm solo players. Now ESC an all-in play towards short, but the door is open for Patsy to find yet another, I was about to say yet another multi-kill, but it's just the one. The trade eventually comes through, but he's got the information. There's still 3 more players on towards this B-bomb site to deal with.
Ryko gets peeked into by clax, so now player advantage for the CT side. Denist's going to fall off mid.
Yeah, I has to be honest about the possibility of a player timing him up towards long or towards mid. It's completely back exposed, but was well read. It was just holding connector, trusting that the info that Patsy had found was enough to piece together the puzzle. But by resetting here, ESC, they forced Sangal to go 2-2. But Olymp, way ahead of his teammates. Way, way, way ahead of his teammates. At least Sammy will catch Result overextending. But now a rotation can come through from Sangal. Good flash. Low HP on clax finished off. 2-on-2. Smoke in towards barrels.
Barmy down on 9 points of health. Yeah, this is an interesting little setup here for ESC. Tap on the bomb. And a peek in. Denist's going to adjust. It's the same. He needs to try and clutch this out. And he goes for the wide swing where Norway will catch him. And just like that, this becomes a 1-round game. 12-6.
It's at least 6 in a row. Could it be 7 in a row? Either way, there's quite the comeback from Sangal here. And to think this could have all been over if Moonwalk had won a 1v1. If he had landed a single bullet onto clax in connector. And Olymp again trying to use that timing, see if he can sprint up towards long. This is a classic.
Yeah, I love this.
Or face it play. Just hope that the CTs decided to leave long open at the start of the round and just sprint all the way up, find the timing. Oh, beautiful flashbang. Oh, did Moonwalk spot the shoulder?
He might have done. He's got a teammate there to trade with him, but Patsy's too strong. A double kill. He holds firm. And now Norway taking down Olymp despite what looked like such a good opening play for ESC. It's all turned on its head thanks to a massive Patsy double.
Unreasonable double kill from Patsy there. See, Moonwalk was even saying, hey, come close to me, swing with me so we can trade. And that's exactly what Sangal do there in that final throws of the round, of the regulation. 12-12.
Can't quite believe they've managed that comeback. This could have been done. A 1v1 with 10 HP on either player. All Moonwalk had to do was land one bullet on the swing. He had the steps, he had the information, he knew the peak was coming. Couldn't convert it on the wide swing. And because of all of that, we're about to go to OT. In fact, we're not about to, we are.
I mean, Patsy though, look at these multi-kills that come through in this half.
Huge.
Like, this highlight reel may just be Patsy through and through. Here we go. Another push in towards connector. Just the way that Patsy's able to hold angles sometimes, it seems unreasonable.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal stuff, man. The amount of digging that he's done to pull them out of the holes. Crazy work.
Yeah, it does appear that we do have a bit of a tech pause, so length of time unknown. Hopefully we can get back into the action as soon as possible. But yeah, I mean, with Patsy's performance so far, it's going to be difficult for ESC to overcome it.
It's just like that. Like if that's a 1-for-1 trade on A, there changes the round completely.
Yeah. Like with how clean his first bullet is at holding an angle when a player swings into him to then get a second. But back into the action here with overtime. So the tech pause didn't last too long. Heavy, short default moonwalk. Already the pick on Patsy. Finally, they've understood the assignment. Realised that when you're walking short, watch Condor, watch your back. Only that, they've also found Norway. So it was a two-man advantage until that spam from Clax. Captured by me. Oh, Dennis reveals his location with that AWP shot. This B-side defense very segregated. Result, no ability to play off his teammates, and therefore, even if he gets one, it's a quick trade from Ryko. Molly in the water. Clax finds a safe haven and lines up two. Leaves it all on Ryko. The Flames eventually finish, but down on 3 points of health. It's all to play for as Danis comes in on the flank and a quick flick. Ho, ho, ho.
He had the USP out. I thought, oh, it's been communicated. This guy, he knows he's low. But no, pulled out the AWP, goes for the quick scope, bit of style points. Sangal. After again, another promising situation for ESC, they failed to convert. Many such cases.
Ooh. Now that's a molly.
Some molly with drip right there.
Since the CS2 remake of this map, you've not been able to throw the molly out there. Back in CSGO, that was default, getting a molly there every single round.
1-for-1 trade early on, the boost revealed. But in the meantime, Olymp has full A-site control. Denist is still entrenched in long. So might be able to use this position on the retake. He's got an AWP. He's got no one to play off of, so he's just holding his location down for now. This is such a strange round. There's two players making their way out onto the B site here as well, but Clax is still in sewer. Same, he's going to come in and clear it out. He's going to get the kill for free as well. Norway now gone. And Ryko's just going to clean up on the A site. Denist wondering where all his teammates have gone. And the bomb has just now been collected from spawn.
Finally seeing, I want to say a clean ESC round win on the T side, but not really a clean fashion, is it?
It's about as clean as an earthquake in a paint shop, mate, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you've got them just creeping, lurking into every orifice on this map. Just trying to catch off these rotations. It seemed like Sangal had no idea what parts of the map were compromised and what weren't. But at the end of the day, that's only possible if Sangal leave holes to exploit.
The way ESC got their first round after an incredibly long dry streak was a round so chaotic that I was struggling to follow it, and I had both an X-ray and a radar. Last round of the first half of OT here. Early nade stack into middle from ESC. No result. And with that, they're going to divert back towards the B site for what looks to be Either an all-in set play or, at the very least, a sewer take.
The timing of this. For a moment there, Sangal had 4 players on this B-bomb site, but they just decided to rotate 2 up as perhaps feeling a little bit vulnerable, but it doesn't matter when clax is just lined up 3 through the smoke.
He couldn't even see them. And now Dennis just taken down Sammy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Just as it looked like, it looked like the stars were aligning for ESC, that as they were setting up for an all-in play on towards that B-bomb site, Sangal had rotated 2 players off. But no, one of the 2 remaining just mows down 3. So Sangal, good 2 rounds for the good on the CT side of overtime. ESC need to switch things up if they want to be able to contest for victory in overtime 1 here as we swap sides once more.
Yeah, now ESC had a little bit more success on the CT side, but I want to stress a little bit. It's by no means a done deal. And with, frankly, some of the coordination that we've seen in the last few rounds, I am anything but confident, especially with Olymp on 8 and 22. Seems like ESC always have somebody having an absolute stinker on Overpass.
Just always someone going missing. A cheeky little reminder at the top of your screens. 1st to 16 right now. Sangal need only 2 rounds. ESC need to get a clean 3 in a row. Otherwise we'll go to a second overtime. Oh, and again they line up, but this time it's Moonwalk who will be dishing out the multi-kills. In the meantime, Patsy's found a bit of a timing. Now these T's might be sprinting up to join him. Raiko has found a timing to loop around the back, and he's heard all the steps, and therefore Olymp takes it upon himself to come in on the flank and actually drops that bomb. Raiko will be rewarded for all the information he has gathered by at least removing Patsy from that lurk position. So ESC get their first of their needed 3.
Big time to come online for Olymp. Really impactful double kill. Massive opportunity for ESC to take it in 2. But they got to win this. Nuke seems, at least on paper, to be the only real done deal in this. Decided, but that's again purely based on the previous result, and that's a juicy little HE. And Patsy's been caught completely unaware by the push from Barmy. Sammy picking up a frag as well. Sangal starting this 2 men down.
Yeah, CT side aggressive setup seems so nice and coordinated. They do such a good job at pulling apart Sangal. Oh, and there's even the mid-round push with the flash. It's stellar. Solent falls, Sammy. The AWP finishes it off. Clax, so it puts ESC onto map point once more.
One more round is all that's required for ESC to take Overpass. Steal their opponent's map pick. Finish what they couldn't do in regulation. Sangal need this one to just stay in the map.
And again, it feels like that they need it to stay in the series with, again, Nuke coming up next.
An early boost. Smoke at the end of connector. It's going to be popped open by Olymp. Oh, and a leg was spotted there right at the end. Patsy needs to get out of there.
And well structured focusing a lot of their resources on one single play to net an opening. And even though it doesn't give them the opening just yet, it really has slowed down Sangal, who initially were planning on focusing on connector control, or prioritizing it at least. Minute on the clock and they've just taken connector. Resort has taken it upon himself to push further in towards toilets on his own. The first pick will be found from Danists, patiently waiting for Ryko there. So the heaviest hitter on the server right now has fallen. Reaction from ESC. Moonwalk shifts into short. Backed by his teammate by me. And oh, beautiful flashes again. Samey this time flashing for Olymp. And a second flash will come through. Finishes off the low HP of Norway with an overkill headshot. Gives them the man advantage. And another flash comes through, setting up Olymp for a triple. Low HP on clax. This flank still imminent. Eventually, Moonwalk can activate and leaves it all on Result. 16 seconds left. This is done. Physically cannot grab the bomb and plant. Not possible. It's done. ESC have won.
Finally. Something they could have done 10 rounds ago. They finally have been able to pull it off. Took them in overtime. It got a little bit scary, but at least Moonwalk can rest easy knowing that his mistake didn't cost them the game.
Yeah, it felt like such a strange affair in that first half that Sangal came to round swing on Overpass. He was finding so much impact with a lot of util usage. So was Ryko on that CT side of Overpass when he's playing towards that A site, finding a lot of multi-kills. There was a lot of really nice set pieces and team play from ESC on their CT side of Nuke, but it was lacking on their T side. On their T side was where they got exploited a little bit more by Sangal. So it all really depends. Can ESC pull, dig deep and actually show their best selves here, or will Sangal be able to give them a little bit of trouble?
Well, we'll see. Here we've got a pistol round, and already the T side is thriving. Same as Overpass, right? Both T side pistol rounds are incredibly decisive, incredibly one-sided, and so far it's looking to be a bit more of the same as two big openers come through for ESC. Ryko making a bit more noise on the lower bomb site, but the real assault's happening on the top here as exploding up the vent. ESC are going to get that bomb planted, and Ryko still present on the ramp. Might get a freebie onto clax here. He will do so. Result, the last one left. Got a kill to his name, but he needs 4 more if he wants to pull this one off.
A wide swing, very, very wide swing from Olymp. He's actually rewarded with the finishing blow. But a masterful little pistol round there again from ESC. Going for the ramp split, actually, with a couple players jumping around a silo to take ramp. See Moonwalk here taking ramp from hell as the other players come in from lobby. And then just playing with those rotations, just making Sangal with a man disadvantage hard rotate down towards that lower site. ESC in the driver's seat here on Nuke. But Sangal have something to say about it. They've got 3 MP9s, Deagle, 5-7. They're fully investing into this one to try and get an upset, and they're stacked in towards ramp. This could be juicy, juicy for Samey. The MAC-10 just mowed down the stack.
Wow. I can't quite believe Sangal haven't gotten anything out of this round until clax will finally get a kill. That's off the back of some damage that Ryko had done to his own teammate. That's crazy. You stacked 3 players on ramp. You forced into this. You got nothing.
How is Samey not taken down by Result there? It's wild. I mean, already we saw on Overpass that Sangal came out the gate swinging with some momentum-based calling to start off their T side. ESC are now doing the same. You add into the fact that this is their home turf, that they're likely to have a bit more of a comfortable time when it comes to the dust settling after these fast, aggressive, momentum-based calls. It's going to be scary for Sangal, as ESC has shown no signs of slowing down here in the full anti-eco. They storm towards outside, molly down towards secret, smokes to block off a lot of the sight lines and the hiding spots. Not even a smoke up in towards heaven. There's overkill. I've found one frag on towards Olymp, but these AKs. Ooh, does Ryko check this corner? Nope, he doesn't. Oh, crouches though, still alive, still kicking. Kicking the dust, to be precise.
3-on-3, same, he's low, but the weapons position massively favours ESC here. I can't imagine we get too much more excitement.
There's a couple weapons that can be picked up by Sangal, but they'll take their time recovering these, and by the time they have them in their hands, with no kit, no utility, and no ground to work with either, retake surely not on. It'll likely be a save for these two. Next to the AK's running the spawn now. Moonwalk on the hunt. Again, looking to replicate that statistical outlier over on Nuke in the upper final.
Ooh, Moonwalk might have a nasty surprise coming here. Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
The guns will be saved.
Rifles now out for Sangal. Orp on Danist, who was hitting some juicy flicks over on Overpass. See if he can do the same here on Nuke. Be the difference maker here on the first gun round. The only sniper in either team's arsenal right now.
ESC simulating an early top hit. Gonna follow it up with a bit of a slower contact play here. No, in fact, following the util in loud, and Norway gonna find himself a double. Clax comes in to clean up a bit more damage here as Sammy hunkers down on the top site. In the meantime, the bomb's gone lower. Digits have been punched, bomb's been planted. Sammy's job is just to sell it. In fact, he's gonna slip down.
I still think it's A.
Really nicely sold little fake there.
They're retaking the A site. Oh my goodness. Oh no, Sangal. Oh no. That was such a quick dive down the vent as well. When does the penny drop? They're still retaking the site. Okay, the penny's dropped now.
Nothing to do about it. Time's gone.
Oh no. The entire time. What's that, retaking the wrong site? I mean, the contact play, I actually really liked it. I think they struck a really good timing. It's just unfortunate that Norway was in the perfect position to line up two as they came out of hut. It's a lovely off angle between the corner of the rafters and Mustang. If there was just one flashbang thrown through the skylights, then Norway likely would have been blind and it would have been a free kill. But it's that dive down the vent, how quick it was as well. Completely caught Sangal off guard. Such quick thinking from ESC continues their momentous lead. A save, though, from two weapons on Sangal does mean that they've got a healthy investment still, despite not having one around yet.
Clax going to open things up nicely. Yeah, spamming Ryko down through the smoke. You take those. Taking quite a hefty chunk of damage himself, though. ESC still staying pretty lobby-centric here, and Sangal overloading the A site. Just got one player outside. Clax reboosted. Same position Norway had so much success from last round. Moonwalk's been left outside. Will have spotted Patsy. Patsy going to go for the swing straight into credit. And that's where Moonwalk is going to cash in. Danist gets a kill on the board finally to equalise, but just as he does, Sammy rips his head off. Result charging in. Will keep us in a 2-on-2. And all these steps, Moonwalk's going to be hearing them. Result dropping down.
Only heard one drop down the vent. Second one is a little bit late, so Moonwalk taking his time to come in and aid Olin, who right now has to try and defend this site on his lonesome. That being said, ESC are taking the time because they are paranoid about Moonwalk, but what an adjustment from Result straight on towards Olin. Bomb starting to tick quite rapidly at this point. planted for the single door. Moonwalk's found the first and plays it safe. Disengages. Even drops a HE for safe measure. That's it. Round done. ESC scraped by with another man disadvantage victory.
Yeah, really nice bit of late round play coming out of Moonwalk. Not only does he find one of the early kills, plays this to perfection.
It's so strange to me why they... I mean, I was going to say why they don't consider single door, but I guess they were just focusing on ramp. They had to choose between one or the other. And it's considering how present they were, how conscientious about the possibility of Moonwalk coming in behind them. They waited for the vent flank, it didn't come. They waited for a secret flank, it didn't come. So that leaves ramp. When realistically, he was just late down the vent. But another investment for Sangal. Still able to squeeze out a bite. All the rifles, just limited on utility. Free-handed smokes, but Danis will be able to not just blow open the smoke, but also spot the fact that those smokes both came from the back of red. Therefore, there's at least 2 players confirmed behind it.
All 5 players in a conga line. Downs through lower.
Like this, keeping it simple.
They're getting so much space as well. Keeping it silent. Playing this fully contact. Result is going to have a real nasty surprise coming his way.
Sangal have got a lot of info though. They just cleared Squeaky and Hut. So they should be getting into a position to at least have a quicker rotation. It depends on how much Result can do with this. 2 beautiful headshots. The timing of the swing was impeccable. So he's given Sangal a man advantage to work with, but the bomb plant is still down. They've still got to retake this site. And Moonwalk is still a threat. Takes matters into his own hands for another double of his own. Leaves it all on Danis as all of his teammates have suddenly dropped.
Yes, they've done such a good job in these player disadvantage situations.
Yeah.
Of having a real go at it. Moonwalk with a massive double. Nuke really does just seem to be his stomping ground. Danis, there's nothing he can do. He just has to sit by and listen to the bomb beep away. Sangal's hopes starting to slip as well. 6-0. It's a clean sheet. And if Sangal don't win this, they lose this grand final. They don't have the chance of going forward to meet up with Paravision and BC Game in the Europe finals. They'd have to play again. They'd have to enter the next cup.
I mean, Sangal are doing such a good job of at least predicting or holding, giving themselves a man advantage. They're not. It's not like they're working hard to get these opening picks, getting an opening pick and they're disappearing. No, they're playing slow. They're playing passive. They're playing diligent on that CT side, and they're still getting the drop on towards ESC more times than not. Yet ESC then always consistently find a way to slip through the cracks. Pull around out of a hat. And at least 2 of those times have been from a vent dive in the middle of an A-take.
Crazy. Norway's brought out the alligator, the auto shotgun.
Oh. Now it's getting serious. Aggressive outside setup. On the CTs, Danis and Patsy seeing what they can find. Moonwalk set out on this lurk, takes Africa. Forward position. Position he can lurk from. Go for a late flank in towards A main. Try and catch a CT outside searching for info. ESC now grouping up 4 in towards lobby. Smoke out, but Danis. Beautiful forward position for the AWP to catch that push. ESC now forced to have to accelerate in towards ramp. Result dodges the flash well. Still alive. Patsy's found the lurker. Moonwalk is now on all on these just 3 players coming in from ramp.
Beautiful shot from Barmy. That at least gives ESC a little bit of room to work with here on the B site. And clax going to smoke himself in, low on HP. There's a lot of battered and bruised players on the server right now. Bomb will go down.
He's actually just using the smoke that clax has thrown to give him cover to plant.
And now he's taking down Norway as well. We're into a 3-on-3, and the only full HP player is Denists. He's the guy on the AWP. clax swings in. Beautiful shot. Denists eliminates Sammy, and Raiko's gone as well. Sangal will finally get their first round on the board.
Comes off the back of an aggressive play from Danists. Not just getting the pick, but getting information. The information was so early in ESC's approach. They were going for that ramp split or that ramp hit with that lurk of Moonwalk. But they got spotted in lobby from Hut, which is so early on their path. Sangal were able to get an early rotation in. They were able to then pick off some of these players. And even then, ESC still get into a 3-on-3, but it's Danist with the multi-kill. ESC decided not to really play any crossfires, any bait and switches, all on individual angles. And despite ESC having won 6 in a row and only just losing the 7th, they've actually got a compromise in their investment. Amy down to a Tech 9.
Loads of util being exchanged outside here. Smoke wall up. Moonwalk is going to attempt to get through. He's managed to get into secret unscathed. So that's a lurk element now that ESC have established. The rest of the squad hold up in lobby. Very similar how we've seen before. But there's now this added element of Raiko here. Oh, it's going to be flashed straight into main, and he can't capitalize on clax. He was fully blind. Denist has now taken down Moonwalk. It's falling apart for ESC. Patsy's taken down Olymp. Sammy works his way out onto the site with a Tech 9, finds a double, but too many targets on his screen. Sangal will find their second. Does break the money.
I think that round is a perfect example of just how close some of these rounds have been, if that makes sense. How narrow ESC's victories have actually been in the 6 rounds that they've won. That round came down to a miss from Raiko, losing that duel towards outside. The narrowest of timings on Moonwalk, circling around credit, it was his butt that was spotted by Danists that he was able to finish off. If those kills come through, that's a completely different round. ESC back in the driver's seat, but instead, it's ESC on a full eco with pistols, giving Sangal an opportunity to build some confidence as well as some bank.
And also stem the flow of rounds, build up a bit more of a buffer, because ESC could still very easily pull off the 9-3 that they did last time these two faced.
It's not out of the realms of possibility.
This is far from an optimal buy for the T side here. They've got AKs across the board, sure, but only 4 smokes. Raiko has no utility. They have, what, 1 Molotov? And a lot of that util's gone now already. It looks like maybe a faster play outside here, and Patsy, there's a double kill. Raiko will finally take him down, but Olymp fumbles a spray as they come through the smoke. So Sangal retain the man advantage. They look to clear this outside presence, and there it is. Raiko gone. Bomb dropped. Barmy with a 1v3 on his hands. Had a bit of a stinker on Overpass. It was better than the last time, sure, but still somehow managed to end up the worst rated player on the server. Looks a little bit more at home on Nuke. And he has got some time to play with. A minute on the clock. No nades. He's still got to retrieve this bomb from the yard. Just holding position for now. He's going to start to gingerly search through these angles. Timing could be everything here. Denist's gone. No immediate trade attempt. Barmy adjusts, though, straight onto Norway's head. 3 kills to his name. clax in heaven. Swings out. And he will put a stop to the funny business. The Sangal claim a 4th on their CT side.
Well, the first thing that came to mind there with Sangal getting a fourth is that, oh, great, they've beaten their sort of record from 2 days ago of only getting 3 rounds on their CT side of Nuke against ESC. They've done better than that. But then I remembered, oh, wait, ESC still have 6 on the T side.
T side.
On the T side of Nuke. And they could get more. I mean, by the looks of things, with this investment, Sangal have an opportunity to narrow down that scoreline. Nice deep smoke in towards Squeaky. Flush with the door. Resalt. Ooh. Forward there. Wasn't liking the risky business there. Against the pistols. Oh, buy me.
Did he just tap the bomb on?
Yeah, he just ran out of hurt, tapped the bomb in the lurk smoke, and then ran back. That must have caused so much panic in Sangal, and what it has done is it's enabled ESC to find a pick on towards ramp, but the rotation, the weaponry, just a little bit too strong. They're coming through with the trades. Raiko, low on HP, but it is a 1v2. And these two CTs are separated. And he has time on the clock. Spots him out. Eventually, the double peak will come through. Oh, ESC. What sneaky little minxes. Tapping the bomb.
So funny.
Oh. I'm just imagining the panic that Sangal were having there, because they even...
I got he's planting now, what?
Long after they heard the tap, they HE'd the smoke open, spammed it a little bit.
He's not there.
Oh.
Brilliant. 10 out of 10. Still, Sangal have the possibility now of a tie at the half. It's not a perfect CT side by any means, far from it, but it's a lot better of a starting point than they had last time. A 1-for-1.
Just look how quick Patsy slinks away there. Gets one immediately. He's on the A site for another. Doesn't stick around looking to find the double kill outside. No. Goes to a different portion of the map. Into the A site. Gets involved in the action. And, oh, Norway. Was he on T roof there to catch that kill? I think he may have been. Either way, Sangal primed and... Oh my goodness, Patsy's back in the rafters. What's going on?
He's having an adventure.
He just needs a kill on ramp to get a full house now. Near enough.
Near enough.
Quad kill.
So 6-6 at the half. A run of 6 uninterrupted, followed by another run of 6 uninterrupted. It's anybody's game as we go into the second half. Join us after the break to find out the result.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh.
a tied scoreline here, 6-6 in the grand final, map 2 of Cup 3, as we have ESC versus Sangal. So far, these pistol rounds have delivered in explosivity, to say the least, and it looks like this one might not be any different, as it's going to be an explosive hit on towards the ramp. Olip with the dualies, only good for one before a trade quickly comes through. Sangal have themselves ramp control.
Ryko lying in wait behind the silo, though can't connect any of the shots. Element of surprise completely negated. And he's been gunned down by the Glocks. Moonwalk from control is able to equalize the numbers here, and he finds another with the USP. Clax will take him down, but doesn't expect Barmy to be right behind him, leaving Patsy in a 1v2 here. Finds a first, Samey taps him out, and ESC finally break the Sangal streak with the 7th.
Mop of the brow there for ESC, maintaining control, dictating this map. Again, they are one map up in this series. They stole Overpass away from Sangal in overtime. And Nuke should, in theory, on paper, be theirs all day of the week. But Sangal, as you touched on there, made a 6-round comeback from 6-0 down to tie the scoreline 6-6 in that first half. So ESC now likely to have a bit of energy about them. Aggressive play from Olymp. Nice little util set. Try and work his way forward. These Glocks just trying to see if they can bait out a peek, and they have actually baited out Olymp here, who's gone all the way up the ladder looking for one. Oh, messy spray on the second.
Yeah, that's not ideal. 3-on-3.
Oh, yeah. Not good.
But look, weapons advantage for ESC still. It's fine. Barmy's dealing with it. Dynists. It's made a lot of noise. Moonwalk. Gonna hear this. Patsy's walking in, but he's only got a Glock. It's fine. It's fine. I'm calm. We're calm. We're cool.
Patsy now with the MP9 ready to trade Danist. He's going to jump out first, but on low HP. There's no way that he's going to draw out that crosshair far enough to at least not go down first. Fortunately for Sangal, Moonwalk ran out of ammo on the MP9. But
the spin.
Yeah.
The spin that Dennis did. I love that he did a full 360 and then just completely killed all of his momentum. So he just stopped dead. Oh, brilliant.
But that's a lot of damage with essentially just Glocks. I think there might be a deagle or two in the mix. To force out 3 reinvestments for ESC, you can see only Samey and Moonwalk have reserve cash left over. Olymp, Ryko, currently no utility on them. So they're going to get aggressive. They're going to get proactive, flashed in through this smoke. They actually touch tips in the smoke. Oh, Ryko, desperate spray here, but he's limited on bullets. So is Barmy. Oh, Ryko eventually will catch the trade, keeps it even in their 3-on-3, but he can't get away. Oh, and Clax comes through main. Chaos of ESC's own making is their downfall. At least for now. 2 players for Olymp to deal with. Clutch scenario isn't out of the woods. Or out of the realms of possibility.
Certainly
it
isn't.
is now.
Until then, yeah. So, Sangal continue closing that distance. And the money is in a very, very, very bad spot for ESC here. This will be an eco. Moonwalk was flirting with a CZ and armor, and quite rightfully has decided to not do that.
I don't get why people use the CZ. The 5.7 is just better in every single way. Ooh, that's a little bit cheeky there. See, Moonwalk, the only player on that A site, made a single step towards the rafters. Just one, to make it look like an accident. In the meantime, the rest of ESC is stacked down on that lower site. Moonwalk about to look to join him. But actually falling down may incentivize ESC, or incentivize Sangal, sorry, to walk into the trap. So they take ramp control. All 5 players grouped up for the T's. You can see them now shuffling, making their way down the ramp. The question is, when do ESC let their position be known? They don't want to fight them through the choke points, because then Sangal could just say, oh, well, there's a stack, let's just turn back and walk away. Want to make sure they're committed first, and issue with that being that Sangal then have very forward positioning, able to trade, they're not tied up in a choke point. And it's so difficult to time your peaks effectively when Sangal could be in any number of positions.
Guns back out. Samey on the AWP. Something that we haven't seen all that much of, I feel like, so far in this series. Pulling it out here. Early util set onto the A site. Raiko's getting very aggressive outside, playing all the way around this smoke. Patsy none the wiser as Raiko emerges and finds a kill. Olymp on the off angle here in ramp. Not gonna actually find anybody pushing his way. Oh, we will finally take him down. Samey picks up the kill. There's a second. Deniston result. 2v4 required. They have the bomb. They've got a little bit of util to work with. They've got a bit of time as well. 50 seconds. Deniston's going to clear out ramp. Looks like he wants to head all the way through into hell, though. Moonwalk in an excellent position in heaven. Even if Sangal make it up the ladder and cause a bit of chaos on the A site, he'll be able to get the backstab immediately, but that's not where they're going. Heading back towards that ramp, down to the B site where two players reside for ESC. Bit of util used. Samey flushed out of position and eliminated. A good kill. And there's a second as well. Barmy's now been caught. Denis low on HP though. Raiko will take him down. A Moonwalk coming in from the ramp. ESC do take a 9th. Get themselves in the lead once more.
Yeah, some nice AWPing there on the ramp to give ESC the opportunity to control the round. But it's still costly. Bank is not built up. Reinvestments have to come out. Moonwalk, Raiko, no cash left over. Buy me the same, and he's gone down to an MP9. So, again, whilst they have a full investment, still on breaking point.
Samey. Just hoping for a bit of a boost outside, somebody to get ahead of the smokes, but ESC using them to get downstairs and even boosting up to this. It's a beautiful shot onto Samey. Even from third person, you can tell how quick of a reaction that shot was.
Samey caught crossing in the gap with util in hand.
Oh, no!
And Danis is not stopping there. Another beautiful flick. Eventually, the MP9 will finish him off. Moonwalk! Ooh, so close to finding clax. Instead, still a one-man advantage for Sangal. Olymp drops down. Not sure if his drop has been heard. Either way, Norway seems to be closing in through hut.
Tap on the bomb.
Norway, nice and composed. Taps the bomb. Double checks for initially for a swing from heaven, but Cap caught the shoulder of Olymp. All on by me. May have found the time to come up the vent, but back turn to Squeaky. Should be an easy finish there for Patsy. And as we mentioned, breaking point, tied scoreline, and the CTs are ecoing.
Just as ESC got themselves into the lead, it's an absolutely devastating round. Denist taking things into his own hands outside. Two beautiful AWP kills. And it's going to be forced by the CTs. don't want to let Sangal have this. And I mean, if they win it, opportunity to break the money, but it's a tough task with the weapons that they've got.
Measured approach here for Sangal in this anti-eco. The wall of smokes, but Olymp, that one M4, peeks up to find one, but sticks around. It's an easy finish for Danist. Doesn't seem to be missing any shots right now. So that lone rifle dropped.
Moonwalk now on a mission to try and pick up the slack. Gonna miss a shot with a Desert Eagle. So now a man advantage for the T side. Barmy and Raiko both come with a couple of kills, and just like that, the 5-7s have activated. The close range angles down in the lower tunnels leave clax with an impossible task. 15 seconds to recover the bomb and get 3 kills.
One of those kills wasn't even close range, so that was quite long distance with that 5-7. Some clean shooting, shifting rotations down that vent, stacking, setting up a trap. Sangal, again, whilst the initial approach was calm, measured, waiting for any CT aggression towards outside, passive towards lobby. You had a player in silo, ready to trade, having a bird's eye view of the yard. But then it was just a slow walk into a trap after already being spotted. The M4 only got 1 kill in that scenario. Oh, beautiful flashbang. As now the shoe is on the other foot. Sangal are the ones broken. They're the ones forcing up Tech 9 to hero Galil. Oh, and ESC happy to be a little bit more chaotic and disrespectful up against the pistols. However, the health very low. Danis in a 1v3, now a 1v2 with this Galil. Just 1 bullet would finish you off by me. Samey now shifting into the heaven. May have found the timing here.
He's the only player with health. I'm not sure if he has got that timing. Barmy's out here in spawn, so Dennis can't exactly leave.
The vent's closed.
Oh, and he shot a body. Still alive somehow on 10 HP. Barmy will finally come in on the flank. A bit of a chaotic one. Oh my goodness. But 11 is the score for ESC. They are 2 rounds away from taking the grand final of the ECL Season 50 Cup number 3 for Europe and going forward into those Europe finals.
It's such a stark approach for the anti-ecos between the two teams in those last 2 rounds, with Sangal saying, look, let's be calm, let's be measured, let's make sure nothing can go wrong towards outside. They do that, and then the next phase, they kind of figured out, they walk into 5-7s, whereas on the other side, things, ESC, when they're up against pistols, they were just brawling in towards lobby, taking those fights up against players who weren't prepared for it. Oh, and that missed HE could be disastrous. Oh, survives the Zeus attempt. Only good for 1.
He's on his own?
Yeah, that's not the first time he's done that play up against pistols. Beforehand, he did it with an MP9. This time,
not with an AK, man.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. And there's Danis
Certainly
again.
Not
serving lethality. Okay.
There's Raiko gone.
What the crosshair?
The adjustment looked
on his
so
head.
good. The hit punch thankfully saves Samey, who swung out straight into this AK on ramp. This is such a frustrating round to watch.
Last round was the force buy. Last round was the one where they had upgraded pistols and a Galil. This is the one where it's full eco. And, oh my goodness, Moonwalk. just about keeps ESC in control, but only just.
What is Olymp doing?
I don't know what Olymp's doing there. That's just not very clever of a move. I know this is going to sound harsh, but you're up against pistols. You've got zero support. There's nobody else even. There's nobody in Hut or in Squeaky ready to play off your contact. You've got no other player behind you who's going to come in and trade or throw supportive util for you. He just ran in, threw a missed HE, good for one, and then gave them an AK. I'm sure he would make the argument, oh, if the HE landed, I would have got two because the second player would have been low. Oh, a lot of info there for Raiko. Gets one, and then some. But it's still a 4v4. And a very early 4v4 with which Sangal have a lot of time to work with. You say that, and look at his push from by me. He's already at the back of red.
He's taking contact as well. HE going deep. That might just finish off Norway. There it is. Homing missile of a HE grenade. And Bimey wants a bit more. That's clax gone. A 2v4 now required. Denists could have a really nice little flank here if he can get there in time. If he can activate before ESC start to cover their corners, as results making a lot of noise in lobby, but starting to look quite obvious as result. Will finally take down player on the site. Denist's now gone, leaving it all on result, and just like that, ESC Gaming are the champions of the ECL Season 50 Cup number 3. They will be joining Paravision and BC Game in the Season 50 Europe Finals.
Such a brawly game, especially on Nuke. You can tell ESC, they came in with the mentality of being disruptive, trying to cause chaos and keep Sangal